3 days after the tunnel fire, the group followed an old freight road east into Idaho. The mountains flattened into gray plains, wind pushed dust through the shattered glass of the truck's cab. Nobody spoke much. Tim drove with a map balanced on his knee. Gus watched the horizon. Greg dozed against the window. Declan muttered to himself, counting engine revolutions. Alex sat in silence, hand bandaged tight, eyes distant. When they stopped for the night, a figure appeared out of the dark. 2 figures.
"Don't shoot! It's me! It's Colby!"
Behind him, Jaden stepped into the light, thinner, clothes torn but alive. They'd been missing since Elk Ridge, caught on the wrong side of a roadblock when the infection spread faster than anyone predicted. They'd survived on rainwater and scavenged cans, hiding in irrigation ditches.
You're supposed to be dead.
The reunion lifted everyone for the first time in weeks. They cooked over a small fire, passed a dented can of peaches, and for a few hours, the laughter sounded almost normal. But as dawn came, the rumble of distant engines rolled across the plains. By midday they reached the place from the old graffiti signs, Haven Hill. It wasn't a town, more like a walled truck stop made of shipping containers and scrap metal. Faded flags fluttered from the roofs, smoke curled from chimneys.
Looks like somebody beat us to paradise.
The gate guards didn't look military, just hard-eyed men with homemade armor and rifles that had seen better days. The one in charge introduced himself with a grin that never reached his eyes.
"Name's Nugent, this is our post. You want in, you pay in fuel or ammo."
Tim explained they were just looking for rest and food.
"Rest is expensive."
Behind him stood his crew. Goon Lord, heavy-set, face hidden behind welding goggles. Lil D, tall and calm, watching everything without blinking. Rowley, younger, twitchy fingers always near his sidearm. A tense silence hung in the air.
We can't. We're out of gas.
"Tell you what, you leave the wheels and we let you walk away. Fair trade."
Those trucks are all we have.
Then I guess you don't have much.
They were escorted inside, hands visible, weapons lowered. Inside the walls, the settlement buzzed with scavengers welding, sorting cans, arguing over rations. It looked like stability, but the air reeked of fear. Alex noticed burn marks on the concrete, execution sites. That night, Greg found Caden cleaning his rifle. "You see the way they look at our gear? We're not guests, we're inventory." Before dawn, Tim decided they'd take the fuel quietly and go. Gus hot-wired the pump, Declan loaded the cans. Everything might have worked, until a voice barked from the catwalk.
"Thought you could rob us blind."
Nugan and his men stepped into the floodlights. Rain began to fall, thin, cold, metallic.
We're just trying to survive.
"So are we."
He gave a tiny nod. Rowley swung his weapon up. Chaos exploded. Sparks flew as metal hit concrete. Engines roared. Shadows darted between the cargo containers. Declan dragged Caden behind a truck. Greg covered them, shouting for Uriah. Jaden sprinted to the gate controls, bullets sparking at his feet. Lil D fired from the roof, methodical, disciplined, until Colby climbed the ladder behind him. They struggled, silhouettes against lightning. One misstep, one flash, and both toppled over the railing. When the light faded, only Colby stirred.
We have to end this!
Alex nodded, sweat and rain mixing on his face. The bandage on his hand had soaked through. He pressed the trigger with trembling fingers. Across the yard, Nugan reloaded, shouting orders to regroup. Then a sudden blast shook the air. The generator had caught fire, flames curling around the stacked fuel drums.
Everyone out!
The explosion rolled through Haven Hill like thunder. Corrugated walls peeled open, flames lit the night orange. Goon Lord and Greg collided in the smoke, both grappling for a weapon. A flash, a shout, and silence. When the smoke cleared, both lay still. Uriah pulled the survivors through a gap in the fence. Behind them, the outpost burned, the fire swallowing Nugent's last curses. By dawn, the survivors regrouped on a ridge overlooking the smoking ruin. They had lost Greg in the fight. Colby was wounded but alive. No one had seen Rowley's body. Whether he escaped or burned, nobody could tell. Tim looked over the remaining faces. Gus, Alex, Uriah, Caden, Declan, Jaden, Colby. 7 left. Alex's hand shook as he wrapped it again. Beneath the cloth, faint black veins traced up his wrist. He turned away before anyone noticed. The others stared east, where the plains stretched empty and quiet. Somewhere beyond them, there might still be a real refuge.
We keep moving.
They left Haven Hill behind, its fires fading to embers against the morning sky. Every survivor carried a piece of it, the smell of smoke, the echo of gunfire, the knowledge that trust was rarer than fuel. As the trucks rumbled east, Jaden leaned out the window watching the horizon. "Think we'll ever find a place that isn't dying?" Tim didn't answer. He just shifted gears, eyes fixed on the road. Behind them, the Idaho wind carried ash and something else, a faint hum beneath the engine noise, like distant machinery waking up, and for a brief second, Alex thought he heard it whisper his name.